So run that laser target thing there.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have been standing either here, probably about, somewhere around here, looking at my stuff. That's where it would have hit me. I heard an enormously loud bang. Now, it sounded to me, even with my expertise in firearms, that it was an M80 going off or a very large firecracker. Did not sound like a gunshot. And I went downstairs to look, and neighborhood kids, a lot of them come up here in the cul-de-sac, and they were playing in the driveway at my neighbor's house. 6, 7-year-old kids. And I was about to go next door and go, oh, for God's sakes, will you get your Sunday? It's a little early for the 4th of July, but it happens. And I think it was around 6 o'clock, I came back down, and I walked in, and I see there's this enormous hole in my window at chest height. And I had been spending the whole 2-hour period before and afterwards, actually before, standing right here, going over my notes from the Bureau for this application, and I looked up and I realized, I looked down there, now that's cut out right now, we had to cut out the hole for the evidence, but I'm going to show you the picture, that I was in the direct line of fire, the path of that bullet. The reason it sounded like an M80 is that the bullet, it wasn't the sound of a gun being fired, but it was the sound of a bullet crashing through glass and hitting a wall. And that sounds very much like a firecracker going off. I mean, a very large firecracker.
So you were at home when this happened,
right?
You weren't downstairs.
No.
You were upstairs.
No, I think, giving the timing, I remember standing here, okay, and then walking upstairs to my lab, and as I was walking up the stairs, it would have been about 30 seconds after, before I left the scene and was walking up the stairs, I heard just bang! And the reason I remember I was on the stairs is because if you go to my stairs, you can look, you want to follow me? I'll show you. So I left my thing here where I was putting all my paperwork in on my desk. This is how I work. And I was walking up the stairs like this, and I saw the kids playing there in the street in the driveway. My neighbor's not too thrilled with the situation. So about 1.5 years ago, I think I was in here about 2 or 3 months, I heard all this gunfire all day Sunday. And it turns out that Lucetta Ranch, this is from the old days, has been there a long time, and I appreciate their rights, has a shotgun shooting range out there, professional skeet range. And this is 150 yards from my house. Not just my house, I'm a single guy here. There's over 200 houses on this rim, and I think there's about 600 in this Lake Valley area. Most of them have kids. So, I think I went over there, I thought it might have been I didn't talk to him, I didn't talk to Lucetta. It kind of irritated me. And then the following weekend, I'm sitting in my desk upstairs, and boom! And I'm talking about a noise loud enough to rattle the windows in my. So I'm sitting here and I hear it again and again and again, about 20 exceptionally loud reports. Now, this is my expertise. It sounded like the minimum of 300 Win Mag, 300 Magnum, possibly up to even 50 caliber. It was unbelievably loud. And it was, I thought it was just the gun range, that's 1.5 miles away. So I call in a report, I find out what's going on, and then I call Joe Pelly, the sheriff, during the week. He was very cordial, very receptive, very cooperative. We had a face-to-face sit-down, and he had one of the officers come out and talk to Lucetta, and it turned out one of his friends had been shooting a 300 Winchester Magnum on his property. And I said, a shotgun thing, that's okay now and then, but a 300 Winchester Magnum with a lethal range of maybe up to 2 miles? I'm sorry. This isn't the Wild West anymore. We're living in a highly populated area, and he's shooting without any safety regulations. It hasn't been checked. It hadn't been, to my knowledge, and put that in there. And there's no backdrop. It's not set up for something that can shoot 2 miles. So basically, this started at about almost exactly chest height, a little high. This is just right about my throat area, and then it comes down to about the area of the belt line. So either the bullet was arcing over the hill, so it comes in the general direction of the Boulder Rifle Club. There is also, I believe, we have a policy in Boulder County of open range shooting. And it's, who knows, somebody shooting illegally out there, somebody shooting from that road. If the bullet was pushed down, as it's working on a downward scale, it could be the glass. When it hit the glass, it flipped it, and this will happen. We have a deflection going on. It also could be the fact that it came from the Boulder Rifle Range or that vicinity. This is not the Wild West anymore. And I don't want to hear any more statements from people about people's rights from the old days. It's 2010. This is a neighborhood full of children. And frankly, if someone's 6-year-old daughter had been killed last night, or the person who lived in this house before me who has 3 kids, one of their kids had been killed last night, it would have been a monstrous tragedy. And I believe my job here is to alert the Boulder public, the county, and the state and city that it's time to look again at the laws for the use of firearms in a populated area. Does that make any sense? I'm a gun owner. I like to have my rights. But this is insanity.